Hey, what's up, everybody? It's another episode of SR Synth Weekly. Here I am, your wonderful, fat, and bald SR Synth Redneck. Hey, we got another great show today, and we're just going to get started and just jump right in because we got a lot of great music today. Starting out today, we're going to start out with Hybrid Spirits, and they are a indie alternative, synthwave, ambient, pretty much everything group out of Birmingham, UK. The song they sent me today is called Fear, and they just describe this as a driving alternative dance floor stomper, and it gives me a lot of different things to work with. It gave me a lot of vibes to go with, and I'm going to start with this one today. The main and team are walking into the realm of evil to face it for the final time. We see them walking through dealing with the obstacles and goons that the evil is putting in the way. We then see the main evil take out the other members so that only the main and evil remain. At the slow section of this song, you'll hear it in the song, we see the main and evil have a final meeting and stare down before the final fight. Basically what it is the team has made it to the last layer or last mansion, whatever, and they're taking out all the obstacles and goons. And then as this happens, the whole group is taken out except for the main. They're either captured or whatever, and only the fact that the main and the main evil, have that final stare down and final fight beginning. So that's the first feeling it gave me. Second one it gave me is the main is fully transformed by the magic they've used and is possessed by this evil. We see them getting ready with a new look and attitude, as most of these movies do nowadays. Then as the scene progresses in a montage style, we see them walking through the area and wooing the others in a club and other places as they take them out and steal their essence or souls to leave them empty and for dead. Then as the song slows, we see them in an ecstasy state of the new souls or essences they've stolen. Basically, they've been possessed by this thing or whatever, by this evil, and they're changed whole attitude, become, the person's taking over the body and everything, and we see them going through this area and stealing souls, stealing, whatever essences, and they leave the people to die. And then as the slow part stops, we get this whole, little ecstasy that it kind of like gives them this euphoric feeling of having, having all these souls, and it kind of gives them like a euphoric high.
Afraid of the dark. overwhelm us. Take a breath, it's when you're not around. It's when you're not around. They will infiltrate our minds. They will take us from our dreams. They will lay waste to our ambitions. Leave us broken and alone.
Next update in our Sonic Foundry great music, we have Best Korea. If you don't know them, I think I played them a couple times. I can't remember, I played so many songs nowadays. They are a synthwave group out of Bozeman, Montana. Really good group, and this really song they sent me today was awesome. The song they sent me is called Imagine the Echo. And they call it a synthy, saxy goodness. It just has a lot of everything in it, of that good 80s synthwave vibe. And it gives a lot of that 80s feel, you know, of a lot of movies, 80s feels. Most of your, you know, like that, you know, you seeing each other and that 80s get together and being chased by bad guys kind of deal. That's kind of what I went with. So first I went with the main and lovers are having a small moment when suddenly the main goons see them and try to get to them. We see them start a chase scene where they run around the city trying to escape while being chased. And while this is happening, they then jump onto a bike and race off. I like the bike part. We see them moving quickly through traffic and the streets to escape. Once they escape, they go back to the place of safety. They talk about what happened, which gives the story arc of why the goons are chasing them. And as they sit there, they know they're going to have to rush back without the goons knowing to find the missing pieces they were being chased for. Basically, they're there together, you know, having a moment. The main character is not really explaining what happened. Then all of a sudden, a chase scene happens because the goons are trying to take them out. And they're riding through the street and finally get away, and you know they have this moment of why they're being chased, which gives us the main story arc. And you know, the main and lover are now together in this to rush and get back the parts they need or whatever they needed for the main story. That's the first thing it gave me. The next one it gave me is the group is cornered in an alleyway after trying to find out what happened to their friend, who's the main. We then see the song start. And the main suddenly show up and take out all the goons. The main then has them all get into the new vehicle and they rush off while being chased by all these goons and different people. The group is scared as the main is having fun with it. He's basically laughing. And they escape to the new warehouse. The main and lover have a moment as the lover thought that they were gone forever. The main then explains what happened and how they are now different. We then see them rush out as the goons have found them. We have a full chase fight scene. While the lover is watching the main in awe of this new person they've become. Basically, they've been searching for, you know, what happened to their friend or who's the main character, and they're going around, you know, searching, and all of a sudden these goons corner them in an alley. The main character then shows up in this new personality, new attitude, new whatever, new vehicles, and takes out the goons, gets them all in. They all have a big chase, and then they go back and get this whole exposition of where the main's been and what happened to them and who they are now before a secondary chase. Both work on it. Again, it could work on the same movie. It's a really good song, and I really like the vibe. It gives me on that. I like the chase feel. So let me know what you think in the comments as always. And here it is. Check it out. You know, and as always, you know, download the music and check out their platform. It's Best Korea, and the song is called Imagine the Echo.
world's worst enemy. We come alive between the darkness and the light, as we drift through where our thoughts and dreams collide. As the days keep passing by, there's no stopping the flow of time. I wanna believe there's more to life, but something we hide that'll keep me alive. We come alive between the darkness and the light, as we drift through where our thoughts and dreams collide.
Next up in our cavalcade of craziness, we have the Neon Syndicate, a really good synthwave group out of Italy, and the song they sent me today is called Contemplation. This gives a lot of different vibes that I love to hear. They call this, I just want to a little bit of description because they gave a lot of description, but mostly about the song. But they said a Peter Hook North style bass line with actual electronic bass samples, and it's really good. You can hear that because I had to look it up. But I kind of went with something being born and the destruction that happens. So I went with we see the first moon being born through the process of the company that is meant to save the world. As the group is watching in awe, we see the moon changing and all the explosions that go on during the heavy part of the song while the group is running for cover. We then see as the dust settles and the space settle, the new moon is now showing in orbit. The worlds are in awe as they watch it in the sky, waiting for the new colonization. Basically, this company can create worlds and create moons and everything, but it's real heavy to be done. We see this grand design of the moon being started and everything, and all of a sudden we get the explosions of orbit, and just a whole lot of terror during this heavy time. And then once the dust settles and everything, we see this great big moon in the sky that's ready for colonization, or whatever the storyline is used for, and everybody's in awe for it. So that's, I don't know why that popped in my head about like that. Maybe completely different what anybody thinks, but I don't know. It just something like that popped in my head, so I went with it. Also, on the next one, it gives me kind of like a a team kind of feel. I know it's kind of weird. I go from one side to another. So I went with this. The team is flying through hyperspace at the beginning of the story. We see the first part of the song of the lights and the fast movement. Basically what you've seen in every hyperspace deal. And we see when the main part of the song hits, they've come out of hyperspace and shows the world they've entered into. It's a vast world. We see this, and we see a military convoy during the heavy part asking why they're there and giving, kind of like this slight "I'm bigger than you" kind of feel, that stare down. And then at the point, we suddenly see an evil rushing off, and the military has to go take them out, and as the military is flying out to them, after this whole tense movement, the military allows them to land and move into the city. They land, and when we see a pan of the city while getting an explanation of what makes the city in the world after this hyperspace area so special, as it's almost a utopia. Basically, this group have to go to this part of the planets and world. They get out of hyperspace and are met with military blockade just to make sure who they are. Kind of a tense moment, and then the main evil, we find out later who the main evil is, rushes out, and the military takes care of it. Is going after them while a couple of others are allowed to, they allow them to land, and as they're no threat. And then we get this whole explanation of who they are and why this city and world is so special, because it's kind of like a utopian society, which gives us our first story arc. So I like both, and it could work on both sides as usual. But let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, follow them on the platforms and download all their stuff. And so check it out. It's a really good song. It's the Neon Syndicate, and the song is called Contemplation. Next today, I'm going to really screw up this name. It's either going to be Montesque or Montesque. I don't know. I'm not great at wording, as we all know. Really good group, though, and they're a retro synthwave electronica out of Australia. The song they sent me today is called Firedance, and it's a really cool song. It's the paradox of fire, a beguiling entity, seductive, sensual, and playful, yet evolving instantly to a more dangerous, erratic, and nonchalant mischief maker. And that's a good description. They have a lot more, but it gives more into the details of the EDM part. I like the song. It just gives you a good, Galaxy Club feel, and I kind of went with that. So I kind of went with first the main enters the Galaxy Club where they know everybody. He's Norm of Cheers. Galaxy Cheers. There we go. No. We see them moving around and having conversations, getting answers to some issues going on in the city that they protect. While this is happening, we see the love interest come up, and they have a few moments before a small bunch of goons come up and try to take on the main and the lover. We then see the main and goon have a moment before the main takes down the goon, and the lover and main leave out, to which we see them get into a vehicle and go back to his place, in which they have their little time together. Basically, he's a protector of the area. The main character is a protector of the area, and they walk into this club where everybody knows him. He's just getting some information on what's been going on, of the city, and then we get this whole beginning spiel about it. And the lover and main have this little time together, and then a goon comes up. Just a idiot goon just tries to take on the main because of who they are, and gets taken out. And then afterwards, we get this moment where the main and lover get off together, and they go back to his place or her place or whatever. And they have this little moment together, alone time, which kind of gives us a story arc. So that's my first feel on it. I kind of like that. Cheers in space. I kind of just thought about that, so it makes me laugh. Next, it gives me another one like this. The team is together for the final time after the main climax of the movie. We see them getting ready for the next meeting with this bad guy or evil. We see that they're relaxed but still uneasy. As they get ready for the final battle, we see them all together staring at each other, knowing it might be the last time that they may be alive or the last mission together. And then they head out to face the challenge. As they move through the area, we see them ready for the fight, and the rest of the town is watching, knowing that they can handle it. Basically, we've gotten all the way to the climax. The group is come back together, and they know they're about to face the final time, which means it could be their final mission or the final time that they may be alive together. They know they've got to take out this evil, whatever it is, or at all costs. We see them getting ready and going through the streets because I kind of went with like a high noon feel. I don't know why, like space high noon or technologically high noon. Where they all meet in a city, and then everybody else in the city knows that they can handle it, and but they're out there to show their support. That kind of gives me on that feel. Both work for me as always. But let me know what your opinions are, and send me your visions of these songs, and let me know what you think of each song. So check it out. It's really good. It's a great song for a midway point. I'm gonna go with Montesque, sorry, and the song is called Firedance. Next up on our playlist of craziness, we have, I'm always going to screw this name. They sent me the name and I forgot how they pronounce it. So I'm going to go with Gibarian. And the song they sent me today is called Aurora. If you don't know them, they are a synthwave group out of San Diego and a really good group. I played them before. I got some great sound, great vibes. So if you haven't checked out their music, now's the time, and now's the time to check out their stuff. They didn't really give me a description, so I kind of just went with a couple of things, but this song just gives me a lot of vibes. And it's just kind of like a temple feel, you know, like that you've made it to the change time, you know, in a movie where they've all have to get somewhere and, you know, put places and put things in place to start something else. So I kind of went with this. The team has entered the temple and they put the items in place to start this transfer. They see as the song begins what they were getting the items for as the form starts to take shape. The form is a protector and is shown that they are the most perfect being ever. We see the protector rise in all this lighted glory, and the team is sitting in awe. The protector asks questions and explains what they are. As this is moving on, the protector dons the clothing and armor of this ancients and gets ready to assist the team. Basically what they did is that they've been collecting all these items to form a prophecy but no one really knew what it was. They finally get all this stuff and this transfer begins to this other, you know, mound or something. All of a sudden the form takes shape of this huge protector, and it's like a guardian kind of feel. They're most, you know, I kind of went with Fifth Element, kind of feel that the most perfect being, but they don this armor and everything, get ready to and explain what they are and why they were made, and you know everything, you know, kind of that whole exposition. And then as the song ends, you know, so we see them getting ready to help out the main characters and the team to take out the evil that's needed. That's the first feeling I got it with, as always. Next one I gave it was the main and lover meet in a VR realm. I like VR and VR realms, so sue me. No. We see them as they're having a date together. We see them as a slow section have a romantic interlude at the place, which gives more sensual feelings than the real world. We then see after this section have a chat about the world they live in. What's basically going on is the main and lover have never met in person, but they know each other in this VR realm, and they are completely different from, you know, what they are in real life. They get to have this date together and they get to spend a lot of time together. And as this song is going on, we see this whole romantic interlude between them two. The VR realm gives a more sensual, safer, whatever you want to call it, feelings than they would ever have in like the real world. And then after the main sections, we see this, you know, after this interlude, we see them having a chat about the worlds that they live in. Two different worlds or two different, you know, city sections, whatever. And they just have this little chat about who they are. And I like both. That one just kind of threw at me in like a last second deal. So kind of like the first one better, but you know, they both work. As always, follow them and make sure you download their stuff. Because you know that's what we're here for. You know, listen and download. Anyway, check it out. It's I'm always going to go with this. It's Gibarian, and the song is called Aurora. Up next is Overvad and Exteria. I hope I said that second name right. They are a synthwave group out of San Diego. I don't know where Exteria is from. Exteria, sorry, because this is kind of like a group together. And this track is a collaboration between Overvad and Exteria, as you know. They combine some modern electronics and synthwave, and they get Arcadia. That's what they describe it. I know Overvad really well. I got to check out some more Exteria, but really good vibe on both of them from this collaboration, and it gets great. It gives me a lot of different feeling with it. So I kind of went with this as the first. The main is beating all the goons to get to the main boss. We see them walking up to the boss who is watching and sees the true power of the main, and is kind of scared. The main and boss have this whole talk about they're trying to one up each other on their emotions, and see I'll win or he'll win or whatever. And the main and boss then have a fight for the final time, each unable to get the upper hand until the main shows the true power they possess and take down the boss. We then see the main standing over the boss giving an explanation on what they become and why he's lost as they walk off with the lover who was held captive. Basically, we get this whole scene, the whole setup where the main character is beating all the goons, beating all the bad guys, and got into this main boss area. The boss and the main have this whole greeting, of I'm going to win, no, you're going to win, blah, blah, blah. And then this whole fight starts. The boss is beating down the main for a few. Always happens in these kind of movies, I don't know why. And then all of a sudden the true power of the main is released, and we get this whole beating of, the main boss is beaten down badly. And then as the main is just standing over him, it explains what they are now, and how they've beaten him, and why they were able to beat him with this power. And then as they're explaining this, they release the captive of his girlfriend or lover or whatever it is, and they walk off. They walk off and leave the main evil to be just either die or just in bad state. So that was the first feeling I got on it. The next feeling I got on it was also the team have beaten the evil and is watching the city turn back to normal from the powers that was powers of darkness that the evil was containing. We then see the ones that were lost souls return to the bodies while the team is walking out of this lair. We then see the main collapse from the pain that they've suffered from this battle that they've had to deal with the main evil. At the slow part, we see the main start to change as and complete the final change of the full prophecy. I can't speak today. The heavy part starts as they stand showing they are the new protector of the realm as the team and the main start to walk off. Basically, they've had this huge fight and they've beaten the evil, and the city's been saved, and we see the darkness being lifted, and all the souls that the evil has taken over go back to the bodies of the ones they've been taken, and they return to life. And as this is happening, they all leave, and then the main just suddenly drops, and we've seen that a lot of times. The main drops, and we see a sudden change, in the air, and they suddenly change to this final form of the prophecy that was told. And as this heavy part of the song starts, we see them, they're showing off that they're the new protector. They explain what they are and, how they're going to protect the realm, kind of like Raiden, but that's kind of gives what the feeling on. Like I said, it gives me a lot of vibes on this one, so I had a lot of deals with this, but I went with those two, and I kind of like those two. It kind of works. So let me know what you think, as always. Follow them on the platforms. Tell them, go on their sites, and tell them I sent you there, and tell them that you love their music or hate their music. Just let them know, and let them know that I sent you. So check it out. Here it is. It's Overvad and Exteria, and the song is called Arcadia. Last up in our wonderful music group today is YANEECK. I think that's how you spell it. I'm not sure. If I'm wrong, YANEECK, tell me. And they are a electronica group out of Warsaw, Poland. And they're a really good group. I've been following them for a really long time. And it's the first time they've been able to send me anything. So thank you, finally. No. The song they sent me today is called December. And they call this a calm, meditative mood, almost positive and yet a little bit dark. And that kind of what I kind of went with, is the more dark side. So I went with this. The main enters the city room after beating the evil boss. We see the room light up as they put a crystal into place to return the dimension back to normal. We then see the world around them light up as the evil is immediately dispatched by the light. A group of elders show in a holographic splendor to explain the reason for the crystal and why everything was being held by the dimension, and the dimension is made whole again. We see the elders turning the worlds and dimensions to a new life with new forests. People return that the evil is taken out, and the song moves on. We see the elder give the main the power they possess to become the new elder and protect the dimension from all evil that might come. Basically, the bad guy's been beaten, who was covering this whole dimensional and causing rift between the two. And they were taken to this room of elders and had to place this crystal that the evil had. And as this happens, the elders return, and it's like a holographic, we've seen it a lot of times, in this holographic set, and they just take out the evil and then return all life and all, everything back to this whole dimension. And then as this happens, the elders give the power to the main character to become the new elder and protect the dimension from any evil that comes in. That's kind of what the first vibe gave me, because it just gives me that, that whole light versus darkness feel. And the next one it gives me is we see the team place the main on the temple altar, as they're either dead or really badly injured. They start to leave as they believe they are dead. We then see the light of the other entities suddenly come in and surround the team, then move on to the main, which they pour the light over, who then awakens. And as this happens, we see the main change into something more. The main is suddenly transformed into a new warrior with new powers, armors, and all wounds, and everything healed. The team rush to the main as the main explains the visions inside their head that was given to them by those entities and the new duties that they have to perform. Basically, as most of these, you've seen them, the main's been beaten to almost death or dead, and they were told to put him on this altar as their kind of chosen one. Then all these entities and stuff around the area, like mystic energies, and they all go in there and change the main, heal the main, and change them and give him visions inside the head of what's really going on, and who the powers are, and what kind of duty they have to perform. And then all of a sudden they're now awake with this whole new light and new look and everything. So that's kind of what I feel on that one. That kind of works on both sides, of the coin there on the same token. But really good song, and it just gives me a lot of that just returning kind of feel. That's the best way to describe this song. So let me know what you think as always, and as always, follow, buy, go on their platforms, let them know what you think. So here it is. I'm gonna go with YANEECK, and the song is called December. that's it for this week. I hope everybody enjoyed the music. And as always, if you like my show and you're new here, please think about liking and subscribing to my show as I try to do this every week. This Inner Tales, it may be called SR Synth Weekly, as some of you have already heard in some past episodes. But I'm going to play any kind of music I can. I like synth music, and I love the synth wave, and I've loved some of the other music that everybody's been sending me. You know, some electronic, dance. I've even had rock. You know, and if you've seen my past couple episodes, I even got rap and hip hop in it. As long as it's got like a synthy feel and has a great vibe and great stuff, I'll play it. If it's something like beating a drum with a hammer, I don't want to hear that. No. Or if it's someone yodeling, the ABCs while jump roping on a pane glass, I don't want to hear that. So, so I just like a lot of different music, but the name doesn't make the show. So, hope everybody likes it, and as always, make sure you follow everybody on their platforms. Go check out my past episodes, and make sure you check out everybody's platforms on here, and go follow them on their social media sites. Go follow their pages, their websites, everything, which is described below, and let them know that I sent you. So, and as always, I hope everybody has a great week. With a couple of things that might happen. Next week's show may not happen. It may be the week after. Just some stuff in my normal work is causing. We're having a little panic attack with work, so I may not be able to get next week's show in, but definitely we'll have the next week. So just keep an eye out on that. Anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed themselves, and I'll see everybody next week. Bye.